Hello everyone! In this video today we're going to be making a traditional granny square. This is part 3 of the Learn to Crochet series. If you're new here, a little recap. I'm currently filming some beginner friendly crochet videos and I'm organizing them in like a Learn to Crochet series. The idea is you can kind of just tune into whichever videos you're interested in. If you are an absolute beginner, I would recommend watching the first 3 parts in order. So I'll put in the description box down below the links for part 1 and part 2. And then for each video, I also write up a blog post that goes along with the video. For this one, it'll have the written pattern for the granny square. That way, after you watch the video, if you want to crochet some more granny squares, you could follow along with the written pattern if you would like. And then if you are a little bit more of an experienced crocheter, you might be able to just jump ahead to the blog post and follow along with the written pattern. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to begin with the slip knot. There's multiple ways to do this. The way I like to is just take your index finger and you'll lay the yarn over it. Then you wrap the yarn around again and tuck it between your first and second finger. It'll look like an X, so you pull up on the top right of the X and then you pull that yarn on the left through. And then remember, you don't want your slip knot to be completely tight. You want it still to be a little bit loose. And then for holding the yarn, you have multiple different ways. The way I do it is I just place it in my hand and then wrap it around my index finger. So begin by chaining 4. So you'll yarn over, pull through, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to slip stitch into the first chain, so you'll insert your hook into the first chain, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so then you're going to pull through the first one. So that creates our ring that we're going to work into. I know I gave a long explanation of this in the last video when we were making the circles, but you're just going to be working into the center of all those chains, so you're not going to be crocheting into any of the individual chains. You're working into that gap that's in the middle of all of them. So we're going to begin by chaining 5, 3, 4, 5. And then that chain 5, the first 3 count as the first double crochet stitch, and then the other 2 count as the first corner of the granny square. I think as we continue, you'll see how the chain 2s form the corners of the granny square. So now we're going to work 3 double crochet into the ring. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook into the center of the ring, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. So you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And then this little piece of yarn here is called the tail. You can hold it against the ring while you're crocheting, and then at the end it'll be a little bit easier to weave it in. So again, for a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook inside the ring, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So far we have 2 double crochet. We're going to need 1 more. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so it's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is one of the sides of the granny square. It's 3 double crochet stitches. If you prefer UK crochet terms, you would call them treble stitches. Then we're going to chain 2. That'll form the next corner of the granny square. And now we're just going to repeat this a couple times. So we're going to work 3 more double crochet into the ring. And you can go ahead and pause the video if you need to, but those next 3 double crochet will form the next side of the granny square. Then you'll chain 2 for the next corner. We'll repeat that again, so it's 3 double crochet into the granny square, or into the ring to form the granny square. And then chain 2. So far we have 3 full sides of the granny square, and then we have 4 chain 2 spaces, which are the corners. So now we need to finish that side that we started at the beginning. So we'll work 2 double crochet into the ring. And then for that last double crochet for this side, it's going to be the chain 3 from the beginning. So you just want to count 1, 2, 3, and you'll insert your hook into the 3rd chain. And then we're going to work a slip stitch, so you'll yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so you'll pull through the first one. And then that's the first round of our granny square. So each side has 3 double crochet stitches, and then those chain 2 spaces are the corners. For this next round, we're just going to work into the corners. We'll begin by slip stitching into that first chain 2 space. So you'll insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so you're going to pull through the first one. Then we'll chain 3, so you yarn over, pull through, 2, 3. Then we're going to work 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space, so it'll be yarn over, insert your hook into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we'll work another double crochet. Then we'll chain 2, and then we're going to work 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. So now we've worked into the first corner, we'll work into the next one, so it's going to be 3 double crochet into that next chain 2 space. And we'll chain 2. And then 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. And we're just going to continue this around, so in that next chain 2 space, it'll be 3 double crochet. Then chain 2, and 3 more double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Then we have 1 more corner to work into, so it'll be 3 double crochet. chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. Alright, so that's the end of round 2. Now you'll just want to find your chain 3 from the beginning of the round. You'll insert your hook into the 3rd chain and then work a slip stitch. So you'll yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so you'll pull through the first one. So that's the first 2 rounds of the granny square. The way it works when you're crocheting granny squares, these little sections of 3 double crochet, I normally refer to them as shells. Whenever you're crocheting the granny square, you're always either working between 2 shells or you're working into those corners, which are the chain 2 spaces. So you're never actually working into the tops of the stitches. So now for round 3, we're going to begin by chaining 3 again. So you'll yarn over, pull through, 2, 3. Then next we're going to work into the corner. So it's going to be 3 double crochet into that chain 2 space. Then we'll chain 2 and 3 more double crochet into the chain 2 space. So again, that becomes one of the corners of the granny square. And now the next spot we're going to work into is between these 2 double crochet shelves of the previous round. So we're going to work 3 double crochet into that gap that's between them. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook into the gap between the 2 shells, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to work 2 more double crochet into that same space. Now next we're going to work into another corner, so that's another chain 2 space. So once again it'll be 3 double crochet. Then chain 2 and 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. So that is the next corner of our granny square. The next spot we work into, once again, is that gap between the double crochet shells. So we're going to work 3 double crochet into that gap. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook into that space between the 2 shells, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we need 2 more double crochet into that space. And next up, it's another corner of the square, so we're going to work 3 double crochet into that chain 2 space. Then chain 2 and 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. that's the next corner. Next up we work between the double crochet shells, so it's 3 double crochet, then we have one last corner to work into, so into that chain 2 space it's going to be 3 double crochet, then chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. Now for that last gap between these 3 double crochet shells, we have that chain 3 from the beginning, which is going to count as one of the double crochet stitches, and so we're just going to work 2 double crochet into that gap. So it'll be 1 double crochet, then the second one, and then the chain 3 counts as the 3rd double crochet, so you'll just find the 3rd chain to insert your hook into, and we'll work a slip stitch, so you'll yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so just pull through the first one, and then that's the first 3 rounds of the granny square. Alright, so now we're moving on to round 4. So this next gap between these 3 double crochet shells we're going to slip stitch into just to make the work look a little bit neater. So you'll insert your hook into the gap, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so you're going to pull through the first one, now we'll chain 3, then we're going to work 2 more double crochet stitches into that gap between the 3 double crochet shells. Then next we have a corner to work into, so it'll be the 3 double crochet, then we'll chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet into that chain 2 space, and then so one thing you'll notice in the last round, whenever we're working the corners, that's when you do the 3 double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 double crochet. Between those corners we always had one section where it was just 3 double crochet stitches. Now for this round we're going to have 2 sections with 3 double crochet stitches, and then with every round after that it's always just going to increase by 1. So now we'll work into that next gap between the 3 double crochet, and we're going to work 3 double crochet into it. Then into the next gap between the 3 double crochet, we'll work 3 double crochet, and then now we're at another corner since it's a chain 2 space, so you'll work 3 double crochet into it, then we'll chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet, So you can go ahead and continue on with round 4. Next you'll be working into this gap between the 3 double crochet, and you'll work 3 double crochet, then into the next space it'll be 3 double crochet, and then you'll be at another corner, so it'll be the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into that corner. So you can go ahead and continue that around, and then I'll meet you at the end when we get back to the first side. Alright, so I'm at the end of round 4 here. I just worked one of the corners and I have one more space to work into. So we'll work 3 double crochet into this space. And then you'll find the chain 3 from the beginning. You'll insert your hook into the 3rd chain and work a slip stitch, so you'll yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops, so you'll pull through the first one. So now we have 4 rounds. I think I'm gonna work one more round for this video. So for round 5, you'll begin by chaining 3. This double crochet stitch is going to end up being one of the double crochet in this gap. So at the end of the round, we'll work 2 more double crochet into this space to complete that double crochet shell. So now we work into the next space. We'll work 3 double crochet. Then next we're at the chain 2 space, so we're gonna work a corner. It'll be 3 double crochet, then we'll chain 2, then we'll work 3 more double crochet into the chain 2 space, then like I said during the previous round, with every round the number of spaces that you work into between the 2 corners always increases by 1. So this time there's going to be 3 spaces that we'll work into before we get to the next corner. So we're just going to work 3 double crochet into each of them. So that's the first shell, then we work into the next gap between 2 shells. And then we'll work into that last gap between 3 shells, 3 double crochet shells. So we have a corner, and then we have 3 shells. Next, in that chain 2 space, we'll work another corner. So it's going to be 3 double crochet, then we'll chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet, so you can go ahead and just continue that around. Remember, you'll always have 3 shells for each side, and then in those chain 2 spaces you'll do the 3 double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 double crochet. So you can go ahead and continue that around, and then I'll meet you back at the end. Alright, so I'm at the end around 5 here. Into this very last space, we'll work 2 double crochet. And then the chain 3 from the beginning of the round is going to count as the last double crochet for this shell. So we'll just find the 3rd chain and then work a slip stitch. So for this video, I'm just going to work 5 rounds for this granny square, but you can continue on if you'd like to. Remember, the pattern is just between the 3 double crochet shells, you work 3 double crochet into the gaps. When you reach the corners, which are the chain 2 spaces, you work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And then with every round, the number of gaps you work into between the 2 corners will always increase by 1. I'm going to pause here and film a short second video just going over how you begin the rounds, because I know a lot of times that can be the confusing part. It's always for the even number rounds, you begin by slip stitching into the next space. For the odd number rounds, you begin by chaining 3. So I'll put that link in the description box down below. But then, since I'm going to stop here, I'm going to go ahead and cut the yarn. And then you can go ahead and just pull it through. And then, so I don't have to show weaving in the ends in all of the videos, I filmed a separate video for that, and I'll put that link in the description box down below. So lots of links for this video. But that's the full pattern for the granny square. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next part of the series, we'll go over how to change color, so that way you can make a granny square where like each of the rounds are different colors. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.